Welcome to Manchester United News Update. Subscribe for more Manchester United news, match previews, and transfer updates. Man United transfer news. Ruben Amorim closes in on first signing as flop set for exit. Ruben Amorim is desperate for new signings after Manchester United's dreadful defeat to Brighton, and the beleaguered boss may now finally get his wish as deadline day closes in. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim is desperate for new signings after the dismal defeat to Brighton. The draw with leaders Liverpool, as well as wins over Arsenal and Southampton, suggested Amorim had finally found a formula for success. But an awful 3-1 loss at the hands of the Seagulls has sent him back to the drawing board. The 39-year-old claimed after the game that this is the worst United team in the club's history, a clear indication he believes new recruits are necessary. It appears he may well get his wish. As well as new recruits, United also need to move on the deadwood in their squad, a process that is finally getting underway. Here, Mirror Football rounds up all the latest Manchester United transfer news. Amorim close to first signing. Manchester United are closing in on making Lecce star Patrick Dorgu the first signing of Ruben Amorim's reign as manager. Left back is one of the main areas that requires reinforcements this month. According to The Athletic, United have settled on Dorgu to be the man to fill that gap in their squad. Discussions have begun over the 20-year-old with talks progressing, though nothing has yet been agreed. Dorgu has earned 4 caps for Denmark and is seen as a player who would be suited to Amorim's preferred 3-4-2-1 formation. A potential complication is that he only signed a new contract in October. Dorgu is expected to be the first of several players to come through the entrance at Old Trafford this month. As United recruitment chiefs continue their push for new faces, scouts have been sent on a scouting mission to Portugal. According to O Jogo, United scouts were in attendance for Porto's defeat to Gil Vicente. It is understood to be the latest of several visits representatives of the Red Devils have watched the Portuguese giants. It is unknown who their main target was, with scouts from Southampton, Marseille, Bologna, and Mallorca all also present at the Estadio Cidade de Barcelos. Porto lost 3-1 and sacked their manager afterwards. Manchester United are missing a player Erik Ten Hag knew they would. Having found the back of the net in 4 successive games, Manchester United's recent dry spell in front of goal now feels like a distant memory. United went 3 Premier League games in a row without scoring either side of Christmas, blanking against Bournemouth, Wolves, and Newcastle United. Ruben Amorim's side halted that trend by scoring twice at Anfield in a 2-2 draw with Liverpool, courtesy of efforts from Lisandro Martinez and Ahmad. But despite scoring in each of their last 4 matches, they have only found a way to win once within 90 minutes, inspired by Ahmad's late heroics in the 3-1 win over Southampton at Old Trafford. That treble took the tally of goals United have scored under Amorim to 23. With Bruno Fernandes making it 24 with his first half penalty in Sunday's defeat to Brighton and Hove Albion. Ahmad has netted a quarter of the goals United have scored since the Portuguese chief took charge. In total, 8 different players have scored for United since Amorim took over, but when you take into account that Lisandro Martinez and Johnny Evans are on the list, it highlights the midfield as an issue. United have not scored a goal via an out-and-out central midfielder since Amorim was appointed, given Bruno Fernandes is operating as a number 10. Manuel Ugarte and Kobbie Mainoo have established themselves as Amorim's first-choice midfielders, forming a developing partnership, but neither have scored this season. With United becoming increasingly reliant on Ahmad and Fernandes for goals amid Rasmus Højlund's dry spell and Joshua Zirkzee not being an out-and-out number 9, United's decision to sell Scott McTominay last summer has not aged particularly well. United cashed in on the Scot on deadline day, sanctioning a £25.7 million deal that saw him move to Napoli. At the time, it was argued United had made the right call amid the fact he had moved into the final 12 months of his contract and United needed to raise cash through player sales. McTominay, as an academy graduate, banked United pure profit. Former United manager Erik Ten Hag wanted to keep McTominay but accepted the club had to sell him to comply with the ever-tightening financial rules. I'm very happy for him and it's also for us, but it's mixed because I wouldn't prefer to lose him, because he is Man United in every vein, Ten Hag said. He was so important for our team, for Manchester United. He was here for over 22 years. Unfortunately, it's the rules. We have to discuss the rules when you have to do sells, and then, obviously, homegrown players, academy players, they bring more value. McTominay scored 10 goals for United last season, including 7 in the Premier League. Often considered a Marmite player that divided opinion, McTominay had his uses, not least his ability to make darting runs into the box and score goals. United no longer have a box-crashing midfielder that gambles to get into the penalty. Transfer News Live. Man United on verge of huge breakthrough as Chelsea take aim at £84 million star. Manchester United are still waiting for the sale, which could act as the trigger point for a frenzy of January transfer activity at Old Trafford. And they could soon get it, with Antony, Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho among those heavily linked elsewhere. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has admitted his side will take action in the market if the right opportunity presents itself, while Tottenham manager Ange Postecoglou is desperate for further reinforcements after welcoming Antonin Kinski earlier in the window. Clubs throughout the Premier League and beyond have just 2 weeks left to get their squads in perfect working order before pushing on until the end of the season. Harvey Elliott fighting for Liverpool stay. Liverpool attacker Harvey Elliott has dismissed transfer speculation by insisting he wants to fight for his place in Arne Slot's plans. The 21-year-old has made just 11 appearances this season, falling down Slot's pecking order due to injury problems. But he made a positive impact off the bench to help Liverpool beat Brentford 2-0 with 2 stoppage-time goals on Saturday. And Elliott has made it clear that his priority is to become a success at Anfield. Liverpool is my club. Liverpool is my team. I want to fight for my place, fight for my position in the team, Elliott said. It's down to me to put in the effort, the hard work, the desire to make that achievement. I am not going to give up. I am going to keep fighting. Alejandro Garnacho agents at Chelsea. Alejandro Garnacho's agents are at Stamford Bridge to watch Chelsea versus Wolves. The Manchester United winger has been linked with a potential January switch to Chelsea as well as Napoli. And both Carlos Cambero and Quique de Lucas, Alejandro Garnacho's lead 3RS agency, dropped a teasing post on social media tonight. Marcus Rashford wants to play. Marcus Rashford reportedly still wants to play for Manchester United, despite speculation surrounding his future. Mail Sport claimed that Rashford has been doing extra training during his 9-game absence to try and regain Ruben Amorim's faith. The 27-year-old is said to have been working with a private fitness coach and is available to face Rangers in Thursday's Europa League clash. The report adds that Rashford has no issue with Amorim and is ready to be called upon when needed. Man United transfer held up as star refuses to leave, with Dortmund hopeful of steal. Barcelona's attempts to sign Man United forward Marcus Rashford are being held up by a player refusing to leave, with Borussia Dortmund set to take advantage. According to reports, the England international was left out of Ruben Amorim's squad for their 2-1 win over Man City in the Manchester Derby last month, with Rashford only appearing in one matchday squad since. Rashford was again omitted in the Red Devils' 3-1 defeat to Brighton on Sunday at Old Trafford, as expected, and now looks set to leave Man United before the end of the January transfer window. Speaking in an interview with Henry Winter the day after the Manchester Derby, Rashford said, "For me, personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps. When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make a statement, and it will be from me." Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund are the two main clubs being linked with a move for Rashford as the end of the window approaches, and Man United ruling out his departure to a Premier League rival. Spanish publication Sport now claim that Barcelona has a serious competitor in Dortmund for Rashford, and the Catalan giants cannot afford to rest on their hands in their attempt to sign the Man United forward. It is understood that Barcelona do not want to rush, and the first intention is to close the exit of Ansu Fati so that Rashford can take his place in the team. But as long as the striker does not accept the exit, the arrival of a name that Hansi Flick likes very much becomes complicated. Dortmund believe Rashford would be an ideal player to revive the project, and the Bundesliga giants could move for the England international if Erik ten Hag takes over as manager this week. The report adds that, despite having also had problems with him, He, Ten Hag, believes that his behavior is correctable and would have a great impact on the rest of the group in order to get their heads back on track. Sport continues. It all depends on whether Rashford wants to wait for FC Barcelona until February 3rd, when the winter transfer window closes, or opts for Dortmund this week. The Daily Telegraph have their own update on Rashford on Monday. They write, United will also step up their efforts this week to find a loan move for Marcus Rashford, with sources in Germany suggesting that Borussia Dortmund are hopeful of signing him, with French club Monaco are believed to be their closest rivals. While further reports in Spain claim that Barcelona forward Fati refuses to leave, with their potential move for Rashford at a standstill, and the door closing on a deal for the Man United star.